I've always felt that your work as senator will be centered on ratification of treaties, international conventions, agreements, and the like. That is the reason why for all the questions that I have asked here, they really are focusing on foreign policy, defense, and security. Here's the question. I think everybody knows that there is an ongoing DND review of the 1952 Mutual Defense Treaty. There are two options: abrogate the Mutual Defense Treaty or amend some parts of it. If you are not for abrogation, then please tell me which parts should be amended.
Thank you, Dr. Carlos. We will hear from Yusek Astra Pimentel.
I am for the amendment of the Mutual Defense Treaty, simply because there is an important part of our relation with other countries, and we know that there are countries that would like to take power over other countries. And the Mutual Defense Treaty must be protecting also our people. Kinakailangan po na ang defense treaty natin ay nakalaad doon because ang panahon natin ngayon ay matagal na yung mutual defense treaty. Marami na pong nagbago. Right now, our women and children must be protected even through sa ating dito sa ating paggawa ng mga batas at sa ating pag-ratify nito, dahil nangangailangan po tayo na magkaroon ng magandang relasyon sa ibang bansa at hindi din tayo maging agrabyado sa panahon ng seguridad, ay maging we will be in the forefront of any war that's going to happen around the world.
Okay. Thank you, Yusek Pimentel. Any follow-up? Should we move on to Secretary Piñol?
The Mutual Defense Treaty is just one of the manifestations of the very close relationships between the Philippines and the United States of America. As you all know, the U.S. is our biggest trading partner. So I would favor the retention of the Mutual Defense Treaty, make some improvements, whatever they may be, but I believe that we should hang on to this treaty because this manifests our strong relationship with our oldest trading partner, the United States of America. Thank you.
Okay. Chairman Belhica.
War is around the corner. So the Philippines must strengthen its military capabilities and its relationship with other countries. The Mutual Defense Treaty must be amended so that America, when Philippines gets attacked or gets into war, can automatically respond to our aid. Ngayon po kasi, the President of the United States will have to get permission from Congress. Mahihirapan po tayo pagka napasok tayo rito ng malalaking mga bayan para basuhin. So as we strengthen our security, we must also amend the Mutual Defense Treaty and cultivate our relationship with our neighboring countries.
Thank you. Next we have Secretary Panelo.
Sa akin pong pananaw, kailangan tanggalin muna natin itong Mutual Defense Treaty at pumasok tayo sa bagong tratado. Palaging titingnan po natin ang interes ng ating bansa, ang territorial integrity at ang sovereignty. Hindi maaari na ang katratado natin ay palaging may bentaha at tayo ay wala. Kailangan isa-isahin po natin ang provision na magkakaroon ng tunay na proteksyon. Hindi lamang sa isa, kundi dapat, kaya nga tinawag na mutual. Kailangan kung anong panganib sa isa ay magiging panganib din sa katratado nito at gagawa sila ng mga galaw upang maproteksyonan. Hindi po pwede yung merong panganib dito pero hindi pa rin gumagalaw ang katratado natin. Kailangan talagang i-abrogate muna ngayon. Pumasok sa bago.
Okay. Deputy Speaker Marcoleta.
I am for an amendment and to renegotiate the terms of the MDT. Ang tanong po ay anong i-amend natin kung sakasakali? Yung Article 2 po sinasabi, both parties have the obligation to help one another in order for them to achieve the capacity to resist armed attack in the Pacific. Paano po kung yung armed attack ay hindi naman sa Pacific? Halimbawa ngayon po ay sa South China Sea. Palagi ko po, geographically speaking, yung South China Sea, parte po ng Indo-Pacific yun. Hindi po siya talaga, kumbaga sa Pacific side, which is the western side of the Philippines. So kailangan po nating ayusin. Pagkatapos po, 70 years na nakararaan, pero hindi naman nila tayo tinulungan in order for us to be capacitated to resist an armed attack. Article 3 po, sinasabi rin doon, kailangan palagi silang nag-uusap itong dalawang partido. Whenever they feel that each other is being threatened politically or their independence is somehow being threatened. Hindi rin po nangyayari ito. Kaya kailangan nating i-renegotiate po.
Okay. Senator Honasan.
The Mutual Defense Treaty is driven by Commonwealth Act number 1, drafted more than 70 years ago by Major Dwight Eisenhower and William Ord. Hindi ho ako nahihiyan sabihin sa inyo na magkasing edad kami ng Commonwealth Act number 1. And it drives, the consequence is a non-existent national security policy that is anchored on a clear definition of what constitutes our national interest. Let's overhaul the whole thing, renegotiate the whole thing. In the meantime, self-reliance. Let's prepare to defend ourselves in any situation.
Just today, I think Biden talked about installing nuclear warheads in Japan. If we are going to renegotiate our relationship with the United States, and the U.S. demands that we also set up similar nuclear warheads, what will your position be?
Unsolicited advice to the U.S. President. Hinay-hinay tayo dito. Let us not start something that we cannot finish to the detriment of the global community. Pag nagbabalyahan kayo doon, tumataas yung presyo ng langis dito. Sino nahihirapan? Hindi lang kayo. Kami, the entire global community. Unsolicited advice. Something for us to think, reflect, and pray on.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Speaker Marcolata, yeah.
Senator Greg, hindi ba nung kinanyon yung ating mga, kinanyon ng tubig yung ating mga mangingisda at kinuha naman ng China yung ating Scarborough Shoal, hindi ba dapat nag-operate na yung Article 3 na kung saan kapag natetreten, sabi niya doon, yung ating political independence or even our security, kailangan nag-uusap itong dalawa. Wala akong nakitang pag-uusap. Ano kayang masasabi mo ron?
Una-una po, hanggang ngayon, kaya binanggit ko kanina yung national interest. Ano ba pinaggigirian natin doon? No? Isda, langis, lupa, tubig, nasa ilalim ng tubig. Let's be very clear about what we are going to fight and die for as a people.
So are we going to die for fish?
Yes.
Well, because I think we're also talking food security. I think Secretary Piñol talked about food security as the top of the list. Because it seems to me that that is really what we're fighting for. Not really oil, because we're moving away from oil. General Honasan?
Well, ma'am, yun nga ho hindi malinaw. It may be clear to some of us, but it is not clear to every able-bodied, freedom-loving Filipino. Dapat alam nila ito. Dahil ang nakataya rito, hindi yung survival ng bawat isa sa atin. Ang nakataya rito is the survival of the Filipino nation.